Greetings, everyone. This is your girl, Sage. I am coming to you with day number 9 of 28 days of self-care. Today, I would like to talk about checking your intentions, checking your heart. Are you really doing it from your heart, or do you have some different intentions and you think that you're doing it from your heart? So today I felt led to discuss more so. This is about being authentic. When you know yourself, when you're able to go inside and say, all right, am I doing this just to be nice, or am I doing this because I really would like to do it, or am I doing this because I want something in return later on down the line? Am I making an investment in this person and they don't know it yet? This is something that I have seen countless amounts of times, and I have been on the other side before. So I am able to recognize it, and I'm able to recognize it when other people are doing it to me. And so I also understand that it can be a blind, like you could really be doing it blindly. You don't even realize it. So let me explain. Let me give you an example. Maybe you were taught to be nice when you were a kid, right? Or growing up, maybe society taught you to be nice. And then you grew up not wanting to offend people, not wanting to cause conflict, wanting to always be nice even if you felt something different, okay? You were told to act any other way is being less than, or is wrong, okay? So then you decide that being nice also means keeping quiet, not speaking up for yourself, not telling the truth. In essence, if you're constantly focused on being nice, you learn to become a dishonest person, and you don't even realize it, because you're not being honest with yourself, you're not being honest with others, so you're being dishonest. So you become a person who is just full of philanthropy. You do things for people, and you do it and you do it, and you experience burnout, and here you are constantly doing for people. And then one day you really need something, and nobody is there for you the way you have been there for them. And then feelings of anger arise, and resentment, and all of these other feelings come up because you have been so nice to everyone. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. You were doing things with the expectation of receiving something in return. You were not doing it from your heart, and people sense this. People may not consciously know it. Some people consciously know it. Like, I am able to consciously recognize it when somebody is doing it. Some people consciously know it. Some people unconsciously do it. But the people that unconsciously do it, they continue to take until you say no more. They continue, and here you are just being nice for the sake of being nice. Somebody says something to you, and you decide that you're supposed to be nice in that moment. Okay. Yeah, you do that. Okay, you keep on doing that, and you keep shutting your silent. You keep being silent, and you keep not saying things. And we'll see where that's going to lead you, where that's going to get you to. Literally, diseases have linked diseases to people who hold stuff in, because it causes stress. And stress builds up inside of you, and it poisons you, and all that resentment building up inside, and you don't even realize it. I used to be the type that was passive aggressive. Like, I was the one that would let things build up and then explode, and then you're like, okay, look, where did that come from? if I would have took care of that in the beginning, it would have never happened. All right. Yes. I used to be that person, okay? And I'm telling you, it's not a great place to be, because when you do that, you no longer have control over the situation, because you gave up control when you just decided to stay silent on things that actually mattered to you. So you got taught to be nice, and so that made you put aside your needs. You do this with your kids. You are overly nice to your kids. You don't want to be seen as the bad parent. So you, especially this generation, I've noticed that they let their kids get away with so many things. And I know it's because, you know, a lot of, like with the old school generation, they was on some, they didn't even, I think Jada Pinkett was talking about this in her Red Table Talks video. They don't give a lot of freedom to the kids. They don't give them a lot of say, which is, I see parenting should be a little more open. You should give your kids a little more freedom. But again, that's just my way of looking at it. Everybody has their own way of parenting. But I have seen where people, in effort not to be like their parents, they are overly nice to their kids, and their kids become spoiled, and they become they take on a personality of being a taker, and they take, and then they're the ones that get coupled with the one who's being nice and the giver, and then this is the dynamic going around, and they're being codependent with each other. So at what point do you say, all right, I'm just tired of being nice. I've been too nice. Then you go to the other side, and now you're just no everything. And there's no in between. There's no middle ground, because now you've gotten to a place where, man, like, people are just constantly, I'm not about to say yes to anything anymore, because people just that's all they do. And now you have this anger. I've noticed this with women in relationships. They are givers in relationships. They give all of themselves, emotionally, mentally, physically, every part of them they give in that relationship. And when that relationship is over, they are exhausted. They have nothing to give the next man or woman. They have nothing, because they have given it all, and they have not taken the time to replenish themselves. And so this is where I have to tell you that checking your intentions is everything. When you are determining whether you should give to someone, first start paying attention to the people who you desire to give to. Like, because you love these people, you desire to give. It's from your heart. You don't expect anything in return. Like, literally, you ask yourself, would I still give this to this person if they didn't have A, B, and C? If they wasn't giving me A, B, and C, if they stopped giving me this, would I still give to this person? And that is a good gauge for you to understand what your intentions are. Are you just giving to someone because they have something that you want? Or are you just giving to someone and they haven't even offered it to you, but you just think if you give enough that they're going to give it to you? And this has been taught. I think I've heard this at many seminars where people are, when you're building relationships, you start giving and giving and giving, and then that person will be a certain way to you. Like, it's not guaranteed that because you're giving to a person, they're going to reciprocate it. It's not a guarantee. But what is a guarantee is that when you give from your heart, the universe reciprocates. The universe always balances itself out. You are always balanced. So when you are a giver, you're tapping into your feminine aspects, and you're tapping into your masculine aspects. And then when you're receiving, you're tapping into your feminine aspects. Okay, and so the universe has it keeps a balance on masculine and feminine all throughout nature, throughout us. Like, and when we're in balance, we start to feel the effects of being imbalanced. Maybe you're receiving too much, you're on the receiving end, But we're talking about the masculine, the people who are high in masculine energy, and you're constantly the doer, the giver, the person that's putting out, and you're barely receiving. And self-care is about the feminine. It's about being able to receive and give to yourself, like using the masculine and feminine energy, balancing that out within yourself and giving it to yourself. Because when you depend on it from other people, then, like I said, resentment and anger builds up. That's just the natural wave. That is the universal signal telling you, okay, it's time for me to slow down, to speed up. Let me slow down and balance myself. And when you start to check your intentions, then you'll start to see that you are actually going to be more intentional about who you give to and about where you put your time and energy and resources. You're putting it in things that actually feed you, because you're naturally, when you give and you mean it, you feel a feeling of love. Like you feel a good feeling. There's this feeling I can't explain, but you feel it and you're proud and you're happy. It's a feeling of joy and peace, right? But when you're giving and you really don't want to give, or you're just doing it just to be nice, then you will experience a feeling of unrest, of anxiety, of irritation, agitation, or obligation. Okay? Once you start feeling obligated, it's time to check in. All right, what's wrong? What's going on? What do I need to do? I need to check myself. I need to relax on the I need to check it, because if it goes unchecked, then there will be consequences for those involved, okay, if you let it go unchecked. So check your intentions, check your heart, and make sure that you are giving because you want to and not because you're just being nice, okay? That is just as bad as not giving at all. If you give to somebody just because you feel like you're supposed to, it literally does not count because your heart's not in it. So give with a loving heart and start practicing giving to those who are closest to you, that you know for a fact that, you know, you would go above and beyond for this person or whatever. And then start to stretch out your arms and go to the people who you feel like who are in need, and start to learn to have a balance. Go give your time to a place that you want to give your time to, like a cause that's meaningful to you, not because it looks good on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, because you could take a picture of it and say, I'm a giver, snap snap. No. Give to a cause that means something to you. If it makes you feel a certain type of way that people are homeless, then you go help the homeless. If it makes you feel some type of way that children are suffering from these diseases, then you go and you help with these children with diseases. If you feel that the world is suffering from a lack of creativity, then you go and help these kids, or programs or whatever that deals with creativity, that helps people who are low income or homeless or whatever the case is to be more creative. Like, there's just so many causes that people have started that you can help and that you can be involved in. So just understand that you get to choose who you give to. Don't ever feel like you have to do anything. What do you feel like you're going to lose if you decide, okay, I'm not going to give that to this person? I don't have to. I don't want to. I'm not feeling led to. Are you going to feel guilty? Check those feelings and ask where they're coming from. Because once you deal with those feelings and deal with that guilt, you'll have a lot more peace. And you'll be okay. When I go to the store and they ask me, do I want to give $1 to such and such cause? I'm like, no, I give enough of my time. to where I want to give it to. I give enough of my money to where I want it to go to. I'm okay. I'm good. You don't have to make me feel bad or anything. But I used to feel guilty if somebody came and asked me, if a homeless person came and asked me for $1 or anything, if I didn't want to, and I just was like, that is not being a cheerful giver, okay? That is not a good feeling, to feel obligated to have to give, you know, with all these causes going around, GoFundMes, and wanting to help people. Like, I get to choose who I help, and I'm not going to. I got 50 friends who has a GoFundMe up. Who do I choose? Do I give to all of them because that's just the right thing to do? Or do I choose where I feel led to give to? And that's just what it is. And don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. And if you don't have it to give, money to give, then you pray, or you give them. If you want to give something, then you will find a way to give to in some aspect, whether it's love, whether it's your time, whatever it is. Like, there's always something to give, and as long as you give to yourself too, all right, and as long as you have that balance, okay? So I'm going to end this video, and I hope that you have a wonderful, lovely day. And go the next time somebody asks you to do something for them, check your feelings. How do you feel? If you want to say no, say no. It's okay. All right. But I love you for who you are, because I see straight through you. And go be great today.